Hi, I'm Adam Radley. I'm the founder of GigaLearner. Let's talk about how to learn a language in 100 days. This is what we're going to cover in this video. What is GigaLearner? What is the D.I.S.C. method for learning a language? And why is it so effective? How to use GigaLearner to learn with the D.I.S.C. method. How to learn a language by watching videos on YouTube. And how to learn a language in 100 days. What is GigaLearner? GigaLearner is an AI language learning tool that can be used to learn 20 languages as at the time of this video. It's perfect for beginners. We do have a free plan so you can test it for free. You don't need to learn how to do anything or how to use anything. Just select your language and select your tutor and say hi. Unlike a human tutor, it's available 24/7, it costs less, and you can ask it anything. If that's all you need to know and you want to test it out, the link's in the description. But GigaLearner is much more than just a chatbot. Let's start by talking about the D.I.S.C. method. The D.I.S.C. is a language learning methodology that we invented. It stands for dialogue, immersion, story, context, and common words. The theory is that the most effective way to learn a language is to combine all of these elements. We know that the most common goal for language learners is to become conversational as quickly as possible. So we developed a language learning methodology and technology that's focused on helping people achieve that specific goal. Let's briefly get clear about why these elements matter. Dialogue. When we were children, we learned to speak by listening to a lot of dialogue from the people around us. Then we started speaking when we were ready. Listening to dialogue organically teaches us what to say and when and in what context. Immersion. When we were children, we were immersed in our local language. If you want to learn a new language, you can immerse yourself in that language by moving to a new country, but that's obviously not practical for most people. Stories. Humans are hardwired to remember anything more easily when it's presented as part of a story rather than being presented as isolated facts. Traditional learning is all about memorizing isolated facts. Organic learning is about listening to native speakers telling each other stories about what's going on in their lives. It takes a lot of effort to remember facts. It takes no effort to remember stories. Context. When we talk about context at GigaLearner, we're talking about the scenarios that you're using to learn a language. For example, common scenarios that people are interested in when traveling include using hotels, public transport, and restaurants. One of the most common reasons that people stop learning is that it stops being fun and it starts to become really tedious. If you're passionate about cooking with a particular cuisine, you're going to find learning a language much more interesting by learning within the context of cooking as opposed to learning how to use public transport 100 different times. Common words. There's research that says that the most common 1,000 words of a language represents approximately 80% of the words used in typical conversation. So if your goal is to become conversational in a new language as quickly as possible, then you need to learn these words first. As for the remaining 20%, these words should mostly consist of the words used in your context. For example, if you're moving to another country and you'll be working as a chef, you need to learn words relating to cooking. So how is the D.I.S.C. method delivered within GigaLearner? Getting started is simple. Just pick a language and pick a tutor. Then you have three options. 1. If you have something specific you want to learn, you can start by telling the AI tutor what you need and dive in. If you're a beginner and you want to be guided by a tutor through a lesson that's been optimized for your unique requirements, you don't have to know anything or learn how to use anything. Just start by saying hi and let the AI tutor guide you from there. One of the questions that the tutor will ask you is your current proficiency level. This is completely informal. It's just asking you to rate your current ability on a scale of 1 to 10. It doesn't have to be accurate. It's just a guide that helps the AI tutor to develop a lesson based on your current level. You can also use one of these quick start prompts to dive straight into a lesson and avoid answering the usual questions at the start of a chat. The tutor will also ask you the context or scenario you want to use. Then it'll generate some text that meets all of the D.I.S.C. criteria. It will be dialogue, it will be a story, it'll use the most common words for the context you chose. The AI tutor will read it in your target language and provide a translation. Then you can spend as much time with it as you like and ask questions about sentence structure, vocabulary, or anything else. When you're done, the tutor will ask if you want another story, and you can decide whether you want to change the context or increase the proficiency level. The simple summary is that you don't need to know how to do anything. Just start the chat and you'll find yourself learning by chatting with the tutor. Let the tutor take responsibility for guiding you through the optimal learning sequence. The chatbot has controls for voice input and voice output. The voice input is you speaking to the chatbot. The voice output is the chatbot speaking to you. If you want to speak to the chatbot, use this button. It'll turn red when it's on. You can switch the voice output on and off with this button. If the voice output button is activated, the chatbot will generate these audio sections when it responds to you. You can play, pause, and replay the audio. If you click on these dots, you'll see functionality for adjusting the playback speed and for downloading the audio. If you have a text chat, you can download the chat by clicking on this file icon. We've also included a summary of the D.I.S.C. method and the 1,000 most common words used in dialogue in these sections under the chat. I also want to mention another important feature. Some AI models are better than others for different types of content, and the best models today may not be the best models tomorrow. In the meantime, sometimes the server load on AI models causes them to crash. So we've built redundancies to reduce the likelihood of this happening. We've created a feature that allows you to switch between different models and select one that behaves the way you like. So we're not dependent on any particular model, and neither are you. If none of this makes any sense to you, relax, just use the default settings and you'll be fine. The third way to learn with the AI tutors on GigaLearner is to learn by watching TV shows. We're not just the inventors of the D.I.S.C. method, we're also the first language learning platform to develop AI tutors that can help you learn a language from any YouTube video. Find any video on YouTube that includes native speakers having a conversation. Go to the description of the video, click on More to expand the description. Scroll to the bottom and click Show Transcript. Go to the top right of the video, click the 3 vertical dots, click Toggle Timestamps to remove the timestamps, copy the transcript, go to the script translation page on GigaLearner, paste it into the transcription box and click Submit. After generating the translation, copy the text, go to your AI tutor and say something like, "Let's learn from this transcript." Then paste in the translated transcript and ask the tutor any question you like in order to make sure you understand everything. I recommend you do this with only a few lines at a time to make sure you don't use too many tokens and keep your costs down. If you need a reminder, the instructions for how to do this are all here on the script translation page. So why is this so important? 1. D.I.S.C. Listening to a conversation between native speakers literally includes dialogue. You will be immersed in the language, they'll be telling each other stories within the context you enjoy, and they'll be using common words. If you listen to the conversation a few times and ask the AI tutor to explain the things you don't understand, you can probably listen to that conversation again within a few hours and literally understand the entire conversation without any assistance. I don't know about you, but I think that's very exciting. Number 2, accents. Every language has accents. Learning from videos that include people that speak the specific accent that you want to learn will reduce your anxiety about learning incorrect pronunciation. 3, local nuance. If you're learning a language because you're planning to travel to a specific location, you can learn from people that are from that location. Number 4, mistakes. AI is new technology, so while we're in these early stages of development, it'll occasionally make some mistakes. Now, I've seen research indicating that it makes less mistakes than Google Translate, so that tells you that it's developing quickly. But if you use this feature that allows you to learn from native speakers in YouTube videos, you don't have to worry about this issue because the video includes the correct words, pronunciation, and sentence structure that's used in real conversations between native speakers. So this will always be your source of truth. So we're acknowledging the limitations of the technology and giving you a solution. I don't see anyone else in the industry doing this. So how do you learn a language in 100 days? If you want to take on a challenge, try learning 10 words of vocabulary from the list of the 1,000 most common words per day for 100 days, and spending a few minutes per day with the AI tutor to learn the new words while reinforcing the words that you previously learned. You're always going to feel like you're making progress when your vocabulary is growing by a few words a day and you're learning something new about sentence structure each day. Your ability to learn a language in 100 days depends on a lot of factors, including your true starting point, the time you put into learning each day, and your natural ability to learn a language. The D.I.S.C. method and the technology that we've built have all been deliberately designed to help you learn in the least amount of time, with the least amount of effort, the least amount of money, and the most amount of fun. As I said earlier, we have a free plan. The link's in the description. Go ahead and check it out.